always kills evil in this valley of the dark. So walk with us through it. Come on, now let's start. Every time you show love, your spirit will soar. The angels rejoice as they cry out for more. More of your giving, more kindness and love. Doing more for others as hearts rise above the hate and the fear the world wants to bring is useless against you as your spirit it sings. Because this army is strong, even though they act soft. Every sword used against them, its aim will be off. Every blow, every strike will always falter. This army bows only to the Father's great altar. Bring in the crusaders, bring in those who give. Bring in the peacemakers and those who protect kids. There is no match for this army of good. Send heathens and thieves right back to the hood. Strike out with violence if you feel that you must, but your swing will fall short, bullets crumble to dust. You may win the battle, but you won't win the war, because this army right here brings so much more. To the table we gather with sword and shield. We fight hatred with kindness and the world is healed. We strike cold into the hearts of those who prefer hate, because our hearts are true and our spirits won't break. Bring in the crusaders, bring in those who give. Bring in the peacemakers and those who protect kids. Bring in the great ones who are wise and true. Bring in the intelligent who can always see through. Ooh, 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 in this war for truth, the end is foretold. It's a victory of hearts who come into the fold. Welcome all friends whose hearts are true, spirits are pure. We need all of you.
Hello everyone. Happy, what day is it? What day of the week is it? Jen, help me. Thursday. Happy Thursday, everyone. Of course, Thursday is one of our favorite evenings to go live. I got a little bit of a new setup. Let me get my camera right. I feel like I'm zoomed in way too much. Hope you guys can hear me well. I got a brand new mic. It's a pretty expensive one. It's like a boom because I hated having like a wireless thing. So let me know if the sound sounds good. We got a lot to talk about tonight. You guys know, Jen's in chat. Everyone asking about Jen. She is the reluctant psychic. I couldn't say hi to you, Jen, when the music was playing because I was trying to click everyone's comments and, you know, it's hard. So good. The sound's good. Awesome. We got a lot of, we got some new people in here. I think I recognize most of you. But I want to say hi real quick. We have gotten, I think in the past couple weeks, a few new people on board. So in the tribe. So I want to welcome you all. All of you are new. All of you who have never been to our channel and you're here just to get our feedback on the whole Hatfield and McCoy, Fred and Sheila thing. Welcome. Think you'll find our perspectives a little different than other channels out there, possibly, maybe not, but we tend to take a different approach on things, as our tribe knows, and you'll find out if you're new here. I want to say thank you, Teddy Wood, for being here tonight. Kyle, I recognize you, my friend. Of course, our mods, Eve and Real Rockin' Robin and the Real ICU and any other mods who end up coming in. Appreciate you guys being here. It's pretty easy to mod here because our block list is like massive. So we've gotten rid of most of the haters. And when we say this is a safe space, a place of peace, it really is, you guys. We don't have any tolerance for the typical YouTube crap, you know. I want to say hi to, let's scroll down here. I think I said hi to Jasper. At least I did in chat. I'm very bad at this, so I'm trying to be careful to catch everyone. TP Mills, I recognize you. Thanks for being here. Vicky Into the Wild. I love that. Into the Wild is one of the best movies and books, if that's what that name refers to. Chris McCandless is that his whole story. Oh my gosh, we watched that a million times. It's the spirit of adventure that we espouse. Usually, hopefully not ending in that way for us in the wilderness, but I'm glad you liked the intro, you guys. I tried different intros and I ended up sticking to that one just because it's really inspiring to me. I think the words just work. It represents all of us here. This whole community here is not just about Jen and I. It never has been. It's more and more people realizing, despite what I can't tell you how many times local people even, or people that just come to our channel new and they're like, we heard all this weird stuff about you. We heard people trashing you elsewhere. We came here, watched your videos. Even Chris said this to us. Chris, the drone expert who worked with EquiSearch, he goes, people are telling me you're into rumors and you make stuff up, and I watched your videos. I'm like, I don't know what they're talking about. Like, your videos are awesome. You guys are very, you know, evidence-based, straightforward. So whatever, people say what they say, and then people end up coming here, watching our videos, learning more about us, and joining. So, hey, Ellie, I'm so glad you're here. Rain Dancer, thank you for joining. XX Country 4064. I think I caught you, Teddy, right? Baby Kisses, thanks for being here. I've seen you around in all the chats on this topic lately. I usually agree with your opinions too. So, Jenna 79, thank you for being here. Joan Marie, Jenny 3LS, Howdy 627. I love your Jeep logo. I don't have my Jeep anymore, but it's almost a Jeep. Okay, I probably missed some of you. I apologize. We've got more people coming in. As you come in, please hit the like. Gabble Geeks, thank you for joining. People do love making things up. Yes, they do. Yes, we do have a great tribe. We love you guys. Jen and I talk about you all the time. Individual ones of you who we've gotten to know. Hey, Jankies, thanks for being here tonight. I do have opinions. I do. I know I've been quiet. We haven't. A lot of channels have covered the Hatfield and McCoy's opinions, and then the Hatfield and McCoy's. I'm going to call them Fred and Sheila. Okay. Fred McCoy, Sheila McCoy. They shut down their videos from all the hate. You guys saw my community post. A lot of you thought I was talking about us because you know we've been through similar things when we started on Summer's case in particular. I wasn't talking about us. I was talking about what I witnessed toward them. And you guys, you know this about us. I'm not saying that we support Fred and Sheila. I'm not saying we don't support Fred and Sheila. I'm saying I didn't like a lot of the really antagonistic, just things you don't have to say about people. Yes, so, you know, when they're starting on the case, they get names wrong, they get places wrong. They're just getting started. They're just learning about the case. Fred, I get the impression, and you guys have to understand, my dad was bilingual and Franco-American. So up in northern Maine, we have Canadian heritage from Quebec. A lot of our ancestors are from Quebec, and they're bilingual. And my dad has a very strong French accent, can't speak English as clearly as most people, and people assume the way he talks, he forgets things too, says names wrong, and people make assumptions based on that. That's not the same as, you know, Fred's situation, obviously, but he's a Southern guy, grew up in the hills too. He has an approach, he has a speech pattern that I think makes people assume things that aren't specifically true, because I believe his career in law enforcement is one of the positive things about what he brings to the case. And Sheila as well, being a former teacher, you guys have had good teachers, you know that logic and breaking down complicated things into simple ways is a skill set that most good teachers have. So I think combined, there's a lot that they bring to the table. I have been recognizing there's probably things they need to learn quickly that we learned the hard way. I'm surprised they haven't. They have more subscribers than us, a little bit more subscribers than us at this point. So, but maybe it was just a rapid increase and they haven't caught on to like how things work on YouTube and like how you got to be careful about being careful. He was being very careful the other night. I'm going to cover the latest video. They were talking about 125. I'm going to cover 125. I have a lot to say about 125. We're going to get into depth about what they said and cover those clips. But I just wanted to, we haven't said anything about them. So this is sort of my opportunity to share with you all our opinion. Nothing about it's going to be negative because we don't do that. I think that, like I said, the only critique I have is that they probably need to slow down, really study, work with people who have researched the case, right? And just talk about the things that are known and things that are not known. I saw him go down this path we're going to cover tonight, and I cringed. You guys probably cringed too. You know what I'm talking about. If you're talking about 125, and naming people, you can name people. I mean, you have every right to have an opinion, to have a theory. We've gone down the road of theories. We've told Dawn and Candace specifically, I've told them on the phone, you know, I hope you guys don't think because we entertain a theory about, okay, if Candace did it, this is where she could have gone. That doesn't mean we're calling you guilty. We're exploring a theoretical scenario, and it can be insulting to people. And I assume that's kind of what they're doing in this case. They're saying, well, if it was Jody Sue Brown, then that needs to be searched. These are they're exploring a theory, but it can come across as she's their number one suspect. And if you guys don't know, like, I heard that Jody Sue went off for about 4 hours, which all of us expected. If any of you know about her, and we rarely talk about her, not for the reasons Fred was hinting. I don't know if he was talking about us, because he mentioned he saw a video about 125. I think he saw videos about her. And then he said he thinks that there's a channel that covered the land, but didn't go after her or didn't like talk about her because we didn't want to be insulted. I don't know if he was talking about us, although I took it that way. Maybe I shouldn't have. I don't know if it seemed like he was talking about us. He may not have been. If he was talking about us, I will say the only reason I wasn't on Ernie's panel, but thank you. I was in his chat the other night. I was just, I got pulled in there because Gavel was in there. Gavel and I are friends. I was curious why in the world she was on panel. I was chatting with her on the side. She explained to me she was there for a very good reason, kind of defending someone we're close with, and she had a good reason to be there. But I ended up getting pulled in the chat, and he wanted me to go up on panel, but I told him I wouldn't until I got to meet him, because I've got questions. If you guys have seen my past video on Ernie, you know what my questions are. I'm going on a tangent. I apologize, you guys. I do that. Fred and Sheila, I think they made a mistake too quickly naming who they're considering. Oh, you did? That's interesting. Maybe that's why he watched it, or if he watched it, I don't know if that's even what he was talking about. Hey, Buttercup 85, Sassy Sandy T. Hey, Kylie's Nail Candy. The reason I do agree, you guys, and that's what I want to get into tonight. I didn't really want to talk about what's going to blow up between the two of them. That's going to be drama. And I know if you guys don't like drama, I'm going to tell you, even Michelle After Dark was like, she was hinting too. She's like, okay, this is gonna explode. This is, everybody who knows how Jody Sue is, if anybody even mentions her in a negative light, you've got 4 or 5 hours of what she does. So good luck with that. The reason for Fred, the reason we don't talk about Jody Sue normally is because, and I've told everyone this in other lives as well, that I don't think she has inside information. I think she wants everyone to think she has inside information because she's always, and after I'm done here, you're going to get another 4 hours of mumbling about Ryan. I'm sure it's okay. I'll just take it. I'm just going to tell you the truth. I think is the truth is she's always promoting that she's a local, and she wants people to believe that because she was a neighbor and that she grew up here and is local, not grew up here. I don't even think she grew up here. I don't know. Actually, I do know. But she's always promoting that she's a local, and she wants to use that as I have inside information. I know everyone in the local community. And I just think that she has been selling this for years, that she has inside information from day one, you guys. From day one. The moment the search happened, if you watch, and this is what Fred McCoy caught on, and I know this is the road he's going down, is what happened. They had to go get something to eat, and yes, they were allowed to leave the area, and that raised Fred's suspicion. They were allowed to leave the area. They were allowed to go get food. There have been tons of videos on that, and I think they've watched those videos, and that's what they're going after. But from that moment, if you watch those videos, she's sitting there going, "Oh, just getting food. We got to go back and talk to law enforcement." And like, she's a big insider. She knows what's going on. This is where you get it. News at 11. Get it from Jody Sue Brown on this channel, on this Facebook video. You know what I mean? Like, from day one, she wanted to be the insider. She was the insider because she knew that would, I'm not going to go there, but she wanted to be the insider. She's selling herself as the insider. She wants people to think that she has inside information. And she uses this like, you use metaphors and you speak in vague claims, and you say there's a scary element to it as well. She's going to love this. There's a undercurrent of paranoid schizophrenia because she's constantly talking about a group that is after her, that is doing things specifically toward her, like targeting her, sneaking around in the shadows, talking to people, talking to neighbors, this local group of neighbors are targeting her. Yes, she's speaking in codes. And that might just sound like normal for someone to say in this situation, but it's not normal, you guys. She has paranoid delusions, and it's all about her. So there's like there's a lot of narcissism in there too, because it's the whole conspiracy is centered on her. And I'm going to get it for that. I know she's probably going to be watching this now and responding. I don't give a shit. This is my opinion. And that's the reason we don't talk about her. If Fred is curious, there's nothing there in my opinion. However, the theory that they, what did TN Twister say? I didn't know that. Did she? Okay. Wow. That's not nice. Yeah, notoriety. So the theory they're going down now, and I'll get to the video in just a second here, because they go down this road of talking about the son, about Damien, and hell yeah, we've been careful with that. Not that we haven't entertained that, but we've talked before. We would put, again, this is like learning lessons about YouTube, right? We talked to people like Gavel Geeks. We talked to people like, maybe at the time when we were looking to this chasing, and a lot of the researchers who've been here since day one, she is, and asking, okay, have people gone down this road? And of course, Gavel's great about it, because she's like, hell yeah, people have gone down that road, and here's all the information we got, right? About where Damien was, the truth about the the sneaking on the property thing. And I'm not saying that that's all been debunked, by the way, but there's context that water it down to the point like there's no evidence pointing at him. There's a lot of innuendo. There's a lot of like, ooh, there's satanic worshiping, and then they throw in the video of JLR and Stephen's brother, keep forgetting his name, Stephen Clark's brother, going in the woods and seeing the seats in the woods, and they say there's where the satanic rituals happened. And you know what I mean? Like, be careful what videos you watch. This is my last piece of big advice to Fred and Sheila, is be really careful about what videos you watch, because a lot of these channels will use conspiracy theories or kind of like string together conspiracy theories. And Brandon, thank you, Gavel Geeks. Just watch for what they provide as receipts. Watch for what they say. They'll come up with this conspiracy, which you might have heard from multiple channels, but what do they throw in there to support it? Has anyone witnessed Damien practicing a satanic ritual, or any of that family? You know, like things like that. They string together. They try to correlate things that can't be correlated because there's no evidence to correlate it, but they correlate it, and then they draw this big story out of it. Yeah, a lot of look here. Don't look at this. Yep. Now, with all that said, and with respect to Fred and Sheila, I'm going to cover what they said and why we agree about the property. And for those of you who are new to us, and you may have heard Fred and Sheila say, hey, we think this area should be searched. Well, for those of you who have not been here, hey, Genevieve, we've searched it. If you don't know, we've searched it. Now, I'm the first to tell you guys, from the very beginning, we were inexperienced searchers. We were doing the best we could. I grew up in northern Maine, in the backwoods of northern Maine. I'm not a city boy, even though I'm sure a lot of people out there would like to paint me as one. I grew up running through the mountains, and I didn't grow up running through warm mountains that hardly get any snow in the winter. I grew up in northern Maine, hard mountains where there's like 5 foot of snow, and we still go play in the mountains. And I know the woods. I know how to find creeks. I know how to get out of the woods if I'm lost. You always follow the water. I know how to make a shelter. Like we did that for fun as a kid. And so there's 120. I got to get back on track. I got to stick to this. Let's get to the video. I'm going to tell you what their claim was, and we're going to I'm going to share with you that search we did. So for those of you who don't know, I'm going to show you, we searched that, and we were inexperienced. Like I said, I have experience. I don't have experience in searching. We didn't at the time. We're not certified. We didn't have SAR Tech at the time. But we were, should I share that? Northern Maine is all I'm going to say. I went to high school right across like the Canadian borders right there, and the school's like right there on the Maine side of the border. So that's where I went to school, near Madawaska, Presque Isle, all that stuff. And so we did a ground search. At the time, we didn't have the skills. We didn't have a dog. And you're going to see, I even mentioned that in this video. We tried, we brought tools. I was made fun of for my entrenchment tool. I love my entrenchment tool, but of course some channels were making fun of it because it looks like a mini shovel. The beautiful thing about an entrenchment tool is it's a knife edge blade, very short. I mean, in the military they use it because you can backpack it in, but it's ideal for checking soft ground. If you can't pierce ground with an entrenchment tool that's like a knife, it's pretty hard packed, and so it's perfect for testing. That. Okay, thank you, April. That's pretty cool. You're from Maine. That's awesome. So, we had those things. Over the years, I bought prods that law enforcement uses to look for voids in the ground. You shove this pole about that wide in diameter into the ground to see if there's a void. I got drones. Like, we've just developed our skill set. And then finally, last year, the year before last, we got the dog that all of you were like, we were debating, and all of you who were with us at the time we were like, should we get a dog? Should we get a dog? I really do want a search dog, but I didn't want a dog at the time. And all of you were like, listen to Jen and get a freaking dog. And we did. And it turned out to be the best thing in our lives. And we trained her for over a whole year. And we took her up to Pennsylvania, some of the best canine trainers in the country. They worked Irwin during Hurricane Helene. They recovered a lot of people, and we were trained by them as handlers and as the dog, obviously. And she got certified a few months ago, but now we're at 5-6 months. We're going to talk about whether or not I think we should search it. I'm gonna, spoiler alert, we wouldn't be my first choice. I think I agree with some of the things that Fred said, but I'm not going to go too far down the road there. Let's start with Fred and Sheila McCoy. I've got some clips I want to talk through, get you guys' thoughts on. I'll give you my thoughts. Where they first start covering the land, I try to avoid where they start talking about Damien because I just don't want to go there. Not for the reasons I think Fred thinks. We're not afraid of anyone. We just don't do that. We don't go down that road. Yes, to avoid drama. So I guess in a way he's right. Come to think of it. It is to avoid drama and insults, but sometimes that's nearly impossible. Sometimes you can't. Yes, Moon is a very sweet girl. Thank you. I do think they're kind of cute together. They work together, Fred and Sheila. Their relationship is interesting. You can tell they love each other and they're very close. And this is something they love doing together, which is nice to see. Another couple who does want to do actual searches, like boots on the ground search. I talk about that a little bit, Tia and Nana. At the end of this one, I actually tell Andy he was the first after like couple years or a year of trying to get on some of these properties. Andy was the first who stepped up and said yes. We've been denied. We usually ask through contacts of people who know the property owner. So Redmond said no, like he doesn't want anyone on there. It's not just us. So I shouldn't name people. I apologize if they're watching. But yes, people have said no to us. Andy was the first to say yes. And yeah, that's the other thing. I do think it's important to be respectful of people before going on their property. That was another big one. Immediate reaction to that was like, no, don't do that. Because I'll tell you, it's not so much attacking anyone or worried about being attacked. It's you're building your reputation on this platform, and it's not to avoid hate from other people. It's to build respect of the people who do follow you. Like, we have a lot of people on here who we built over time, a community of people who expect a certain behavior from us. And if we were going to just walk up on someone's property without, calling them or talking to someone they know, getting friends and saying, hey, do you think they'd be willing to talk to Ryan and Jen? And then they ask them, and then we get permission and we go talk. And sometimes they'll say, yeah, we'll talk to you, but no camera, because a lot of people don't want the camera. So if you walk up there and you have a camera and you're recording, you've immediately made matters worse when you could have talked to them maybe in more detail and talked about much deeper. Yeah, respect does go a long way, and gone into more depth and learn more than you could have if you weren't rolling a camera. We have made mistakes. We have learned that the hard way. This video I'm going to show you after the Fred McCoy one of when we went to 125. It was a hard lesson that we learned because we probably shouldn't have filmed it. And it was slammed. YouTube attacked it. YouTube made fun of Andy. YouTube made fun of Andy's family and made fun of the mess on the property. They were joking about it. It was horrible, you guys. and it was doing exactly what Fred and Sheila are asking for. It was going on the property. It was searching the property. And we wanted to share that with everyone, with all of you, to see this is what that property is like, and this is the search. You get to see the boots on the ground, searching the mounds, looking under, like we looked under the car. I'm going to show you everything we did for those of you who haven't seen it. And I'm going to talk about the specific reasons I think we need to go back, or someone needs to go back, hopefully law enforcement preferably, because there are spots that I'm going to show you on that video where a dog was critical. And they were very, very cruel to, if there's any bigger reason, there's no bigger reason that Andy's father started saying no to Fields Road, to any additional searches. It was after that one, because he started getting phone calls. He started getting people harassing him. The guy is sick, like he's suffering from illness, and he's getting people harassing him on the phone. And partially that was our fault, you guys, because we should have done better. We should have been more careful, and we should have maybe searched first without cameras and maybe interviewed after or something. But these are the lessons you learn, and you have to learn from them and try not to do them again and do things better. And so your community is going to thank you for it, because they're going to start expecting that from you. Oh, cool. You haven't seen it. Well, there you go. I'm going to show you guys. It's been searched, and we're going to search it together. You're going to see the highlights. But first, we're going to get into the claims of Fred and Sheila and some of my reactions. They cover the land right here, and how they talked about dogs too. And I'll respond. I'm going to stop talking. I'll just show you guys, and then I'll respond. I could go on forever. Sometimes I talk too much. Maybe that's why I'm a YouTuber. Yes. Yep. I agree, Jenkies. Trudy, as you could see in that video, there's only one person I think who could possibly hate YouTubers more than Trudy, and that would be Nana for Life. She hated YouTubers. Certain types of YouTubers. So maybe Trudy more so, because Trudy hates all YouTubers. Respectful, not respectful, doing the right thing, doing the wrong thing. She's like, if you're a YouTuber, you're a piece of crap, and she doesn't even want to talk to you. That's Trudy. So just so you know, Chris, I should be more respectful. Chris is very respectful. Chris has nothing but respect for them because he worked with them. But man, Trudy, some of her instant reaction to anybody when she learns you're a YouTuber, she may not even know about how you do things. And yeah, she's just like, wow, does not like YouTubers. Okay. This was their first mention of 125. Hey, Skilo. Good to see you here. Hey, Beth. So glad you guys could join tonight. Thank you. Yes, Trish. Yes, that's the other lesson to learn. And I hate to be the one to say avoid certain YouTubers, but if there is evidence showing you past, I'm not going to get into details, but look up the people who have released things debunking certain YouTubers. That's all I'm going to say. Take that into account. Okay. I preach about this. I'm sorry, you guys. I will get to the video. I will get to the video, but I preach about this so much because it's so important. Credibility of a source. That goes for the people in the community that you talk to as much as it goes, if not more so, for YouTubers. If there's a record of incorrect or false or misleading or misinformation put out by a YouTuber, they're a non-credible source. Please don't take their information as fact. I do talk too much. Thank you, Jen. Appreciate that. It's journalism 101. I'm not an expert journalist, but I'm telling you, in the code of conduct for journalism, that's like 101. Okay, the reliability of a source, because I'll tell you, if you put something out there from a source who is a known liar, that immediately reflects on your your reputation as a truth teller. You no longer are one because you've quoted a liar, especially if you should have known by doing your due diligence. So be careful what channels you listen to. Try to focus on the ones that try to use research and they show you proof of what they say. That's not a huge litmus test. Do they show you proof of what they say? Or do they just say things and you've got all the chat, their own cult subscribers saying, yep, absolutely, I'm going to eat all that up because you said it. You said it, priestess of our cult. Like, no, you guys know, and I've been corrected by you all sometimes. I made a mistake. Like in my research video on the mapping, there was a little section where I misdrew 81 and someone immediately went in the comments and said, Ryan, Route 81 doesn't go through there. It takes a north turn toward Pennsylvania. And I'm like, thank you. I misdrew. I was doing it by hand. But that's what you need. You need a community who's respectful, but also holds you accountable for the truth. It's important. And those are the YouTubers you've got to listen to. Please filter out the others or you're going to go down rabbit holes so deep you're going to be lost in a swamp and you're never going to find your way out. That's probably the biggest piece of advice I can offer. Not saying I'm better than Fred. Better than Fred and Sheila. I'm just saying that we've been in a dark place in this case. And any of you who have been here even longer than us know that this is a dark place and you get lost easily if you aren't careful and you follow the wrong people and you follow the wrong information. And then you end up in a bad place. And I don't want them to be there. I don't want them to end up in that dark place. Follow the truth, follow the good ones, and tell if you want to get boots on the ground, ignore everybody, get out in the field and do that. Cause that's the best. Just searching. There's no drama in the woods. It's amazing. You can just ignore all of YouTube and go do your thing. And that is the most beautiful thing. That sometimes I don't even want to do YouTube. We're going to plan searches and go do them. And it's amazing. Okay. There's my rant. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay. Let's get to Fred and Sheila now. Okay. I didn't think I'd get carried away tonight. I'm exhausted, but I'm getting fired up now.
Remember, they didn't want unqualified searchers or something like. They didn't want volunteers out in the hills.
Right.
Guys, the good thing about this property right here, the Wells property, or what used to be called the Bernard property. Here's Beach Creek Road coming all down through here. Here's Simpson Road going all up through here. So it's encompassed. 125 Ben Hill Road, all this is encompassed by a roadway.
Thank you, Jen.
Again, if you're ever on a hill or somewhere and you get lost, just go straight off the hill.
So what's interesting, did you get to that part yet? I may be jumping the gun here, but what's interesting, so if you guys look at the 125 Ben Hill Road pin, and I show a little later in our search where we did do the ground, I'm going to call it pretty much walking. Like they talked about earlier, not just walking. That's pretty much what we did. We were walking. We were visual searching. Oh, hell yeah. That's very true. Loves of deceit. Yep. But they were circling the other side. Now, if you guys, I don't think that they know yet, the property owners, but they're talking about I believe that's Thompson, Mr. Thompson's property. This whole side, we haven't touched. We didn't have permission from Mr. Thompson. I don't think we could get it. They seem private people, and we've not bothered to bother them, to be honest with you. I think they live out down this windy private road for a reason. I can't have closed caption in live.
You can't?
No, I can put it on theirs, but for those of you who need closed captions on for us, most lives don't provide it. This is lives. Closed captions take a while to process. I apologize. I'll try to talk slower. Maybe that'll help. Yeah. Yes. That's true. It's very hard too. It takes being humble. It takes being humble, and we don't always agree, but we try to do the best for Hey, Geoboards, thank you so much for dropping in, my friend. Hey, you're going to be featured tonight, by the way. I'm covering some clips where you're searching with us. Okay, let's continue. I just found it interesting that the area they circled, it covered like half of what we walked, covered half of what they circled. That's what I'm saying.
Just go straight down. Find you a holler, go down the holler, or just go off the hill. You're going to run up on a creek or a road. Follow that road out, knock on a door and say, I'm lost. Call somebody, come and get me. You're not going to get lost in this area. So you could have hundreds and hundreds of searchers that would probably be more than happy to help search this area right here. This wooded area right here.
Now, some of what he's talking about, well, no, that's Light Hollow is further down Ben Hill. If you go down, that's not south, but down to the right is Light Hollow. He's pointing at, I can't remember what that road is up there, but he's basically saying behind the Thompsons, the whole area behind the Thompsons, Thompson's property, the Bernards, well, 125, and of course Ben Hill. Ben Hill, this is debatable. I mean, all of us probably disagree in here whether they've been searched enough. We feel like 7 to 10 times by law enforcement is probably beating a dead horse. Some of you probably feel like, yeah, run another cadaver dog. We personally don't see value in it. I cannot imagine her being on that. They have, like Sheila said later, they definitely have hyper-focused on the Wells property. So, yeah, let's keep going.
Now down here close to these homes.
Yeah, there's a home back there.
This homeowner down here could search his own property. Because I don't think there's nobody going to carry a body down here and bury it on him or over here and bury it close to this.
Whispering Willow.
Okay.
So
hey, Sunquist.
Here, from this area right in here is the area that you...
He's heavily circling Thompson's Hill, man. That is thick. You'll see it in the video, kind of, when, yeah, it's interesting when you're in the area, and you'll get our video that I play in a little bit. You'll get some insight into what this looks like, because we're standing on the ridge right here, looking down, and so you can see the other side. Sorry, I got hiccups, man. You can see the other side, and there's a road at the bottom, and it's thick. Like that hill right there is thick and high. It's another ridge. Somebody getting in there, I don't know. Somebody getting in there to hide something, it would be pretty tough. But I guess, like they were saying a little later, someone who knows the land, maybe. Yeah. I think a lot of people feel that way. How far outside the area is the question, right? If she's outside the area.
Would want search. Guys, we need somebody to get a hold of sheriff, TBI, FBI. We need cadaver dogs. Cadaver dogs. Now, it's been a long time. It's been 5 years. Cadaver dog goes forever.
Closed caption is so bad with the southern accent, isn't it? Cadaver. He said cadaver.
They can hit on it. Cadaver dog, you don't have to worry about a human scent, because they're not looking for a human scent. They've got a distinct scent.
That right there tells me this man has been, during his law enforcement career, he has at least witnessed cadaver dogs working, because a lot of people don't know that. It's in the handler community, that's a basic principle, that they're not searching for what you smell like. They're searching for what every single person smells like from the moment you pass away. And most people don't realize that we all smell the same as cadavers. Abracadabra. We all smell the same, which is creepy to think about, but it's a fact in the handler world, the cadaver, HRD in particular community. We all smell the same after we pass away. It's creepy. It's so weird, but it's just a fact. Like, it all leaves us. Our hormones, everything stops. The processing, the moment that processing starts, which is almost immediately, our body starts giving off the same odor. It's the decomposition of tissue, and it smells the same for every single human on the planet who passes away. It's crazy, but he knows that, and he's witnessed the way he describes a law enforcement search happening the correct way and how they do it. He's spot on. He's witnessed this. He has this experience. He does have law enforcement experience, I have no doubt. And I think he's witnessed cadaver searches, in my opinion, just based on how he describes it.
So a human is not going to mess them up. If you're up there searching and you see an area that looks like at one time, now you got to remember it's been 5 years. But if it looks like an area that's been disturbed, you want to holler at the cadaver dog.
Yep.
Yeah.
And tell them to bring that dog over here and run a pass over this.
So that's what they'll have. They'll have a group of people, the ground searchers, and when they find something, they'll mark it and they'll call in the cadaver team to run it over, right? Because if they find disturbed ground, especially right after someone's missing, right after someone has possibly been hidden somewhere or buried, the ground team will find the spot, they'll mark it, they'll call in the cadaver dog, and the cadaver dog will either indicate or not if there's a scent there. So that's the process. And so I know he's witnessed it. I know he's witnessed it before in his life.
This looks like at one time it may have been disturbed.
Well, I'd seen a video that this one lady had done where they blocked off the road.
Okay, that's where I'm stopping. They get into the rumor. I'm not going to cover that. It is not true. They would, and if they had dug into it, I'm sure they would have figured that out on their own, but I don't want to repeat it. So 729, they talk about the land again.
Well, this property needs to have a more thorough.
Cool story, Sassy. Good question, by the way. As far as the maximum depth, I'm going to have to get back to you. I don't know how far down, but I will tell you that when I spoke to a TBI agent who had come out on a call that I made a long time ago, we were having a conversation about cadaver dogs, and he said, you know, ground, if they had a dog there, they could have just cleared it. And I was asking, like, they really can do underwater, and he's like, oh yeah, no problem underwater. I'll tell you what, there's a dog in Knoxville that they have that has in the past detected a human body in a concrete box underwater in a concrete box, because people think, well, they're sealed off in concrete. What they don't realize is it's porous enough that the gases build up. The decomposition is all about gases, all about the gases that come off of the remains. It's kind of gross to talk about, but it will bubble up to the surface. And the way that Butch described it to us is those bubbles bubble up to the top of the deepest lake and will just disperse in the air. And what they do with a cadaver dog is they put them on the front of the boat, and they will go down the lake or river, whatever, and the dog will be pointing in a certain direction, because you can tell by the dog's behavior. If you're the handler, you can tell the dog's behavior. It's picking up on something. It has a tell. Butch told us that Moon's tell is her tail sticks up when she gets excited, when she gets the smell, and he said, watch her tail. That's her tell. And so they will do their tell on the boat, and once the boat passes, when the bubbles come up from the water, they'll run to he said they will turn around and they will run to the back end of the boat. And so that the boat left the cone, and then so they'll turn the boat around and they'll bring it back into the cone of scent and keep on, going closer and closer until the dog's like right on it and just indicating. And that he claims dogs are better at finding people underwater than any other technology. But that's Butch, and Butch is, he believes dogs are better than anything as far as when it comes to searching. So yeah, they are amazing, and it's as deep. As far as under the ground, I am not sure with that. That's a good question. 6 feet, 7 feet, absolutely. Once you get beyond 8 feet, 9 feet, I don't know. I'd have to ask him, to be honest.
Search done to it.
Yeah. And like you said, this time with cadaver dogs.
We don't
Sorry. The other thing that's fascinating about Okay. I do have to share this real quick before we move on. People think that just because there are only bones left, or Michelle After Dark did a really good video the other night talking about, I think it was her talking about, by now there's only bones left. And she, oh yeah, she did cover it. She said how quickly bones can dissipate. She did a really good job explaining there's a time frame depending on the pH of the soil and the time of the time that passes. But here's the really cool thing. You don't need bones left for a cadaver dog to alert. I learned this from Butch as well. And it's weird. Have you ever did you guys in elementary school, did you ever do that experiment where they stick a celery stick in water or celery or whatever, plant in water, and they put dye in the water, and the dye over time will start to come up into the plant, and the plant becomes whatever color you made the water, it becomes blue, pink, purple, whatever. The same concept happens with the chemicals that are coming out of a body in the ground. And so the decomposition, the chemicals that come off of the decomposition fill the earth. So the first thing you don't need remains there still for a dog to pick up on a body was there, because it can smell the chemicals that are actually still in the soil, even after years and years and years, decades. And the plants, he said, even if the body's disintegrated, even if the bones have disintegrated, the plants have taken up the chemicals. And so a dog will still alert when it gets to that ground, when it gets to the area. It's fascinating. And I never realized that even with full decomposition and a body no longer there, there's a lingering scent for a very, very long time. I did not know that. It's fascinating. And did you guys know what in bones? So I always asked Butch, like, Moon can't do bones, right? Because we didn't train her on bones. And he said, no, she does decomp. But I'm like, bones don't have decomp. And he's like, no, that's how dogs detect bones, by the decomp, because there's remaining material on the bones. And even if the bones have lost all of the surface material, what's inside bone? What's in the middle of bone? Bone marrow. And so there's still decomp scent. It's very, very light. It's a very faint decomp smell when it comes to bones. So your dog needs to be able to, deep the bone marrow. And so it's still giving off the decomp, but it's very faint. And so your dog has to be really good with what he calls soft scent. And we've been very lucky. I didn't think it was lucky at the time, but when we first did this seminar, we got a little bit of what they call zombie juice, which is what it sounds like. The liquid from something decomp, it's so gross. They put it in the gauze. So you have this gauze covered with the stuff. Dude, we had to use that for the entire year until the seminar. And by the end of the year, I couldn't smell anything. And I told Butch that, and he goes, that is good, because what you're doing is called soft scent training. She's learning how to detect with the softest scent. And so I think she would be good at that. The only downside now is when we went back to training, when they put out a case with a massive piece of gross something, Moon was overwhelmed. Her nose is so sensitive at this point. When she gets near it, she freaks out. Like, she's like, what's going on? Why is this? Poor Jen had to do one of these, and Moon got within 5 feet of it. Didn't know exactly where it was, but Moon was overwhelmed. She was like, I can't remember what Jen said she did, but you could tell she was overwhelmed by this odor within 5 feet. And I think Jen had to reset her and be like, search. And then Moon would realize she had to go to where it was the strongest overpowering scent, and she found it. But Butch she did it at the park the other day too, because we have now we have more, and it was stronger. And I told him, I'm like, she goes within 5 feet. Then she's like, almost like looking at me like, dude, I found it. What do you want me to do? Give me my treat. Because she thinks it's strong enough that she found it. And he said, well, if you're within 5 feet, how big is a human body? I'm like, okay. He goes, you'll probably see it if she gets within 5 feet. So, little tangent. I love talking about this stuff, guys, because we've been learning about it for the past couple of years. Again, we're not experts, but it's a fascinating, very scientific field. Man, we love it so much.
Over, that's right, babe. We don't mean just walked over. We mean searched. We mean put out a call to anybody, YouTubers or anybody that says, hey, we're going to have an organized search. We're going to start at the bottom. We're going to cross over the top. We're going to cross to the other side of Simpson Road. We want this entire area searched. We'll have cadaver dogs, not just somebody says they has a cadaver dog. We want certified dogs and handlers with some experience that knows. It's been 5 years, guys.
And there's so many places in the hills.
So that piece is what I wanted to cover because I agree with them. I think it would be great if we could get a bunch of people there. Ideally, law enforcement, they have cadaver dogs in their reach, in their resource pool, who have years of experience, and they should be the ones doing this kind of search. So I agree with him. What we did was what they called walking over the land. We did the best we could visually, but it's just walking over. That's why we agree that this land, and I'll get into why. The why is where we disagree with them, but we do believe it hasn't been thoroughly searched, in my opinion. I think they're right that law enforcement was hyper-focused on 110. I do not think that there was a deep search of other areas along Ben Hill Road. When I say deep, I mean with cadaver dogs, like running the land, not just land search, but with actual cadaver dogs. I think every property on that road, it would be valuable. It doesn't mean the property owner is guilty. That's where we disagree. I don't think that if something's found on 125 Ben Hill, I'll even say if something's found on one of Fred's properties, if something's found on the Redmond's property, just because something's found on someone's property doesn't mean they're the ones who did it. It just means that something was put on their property. We're going to get back there because we had a conversation on our search with Andy that implied that, especially with 125 Ben Hill. Am I at the end of that clip? 8:23. A little more. I think Sheila made a good point too.
That someone could
Exactly.
dispose of.
Sheila and I grew up in the hills. We grew up in the mountains, not the hills. We grew up in the mountains.
Yep.
We know all about the mountains.
Yeah.
And things that's in a person can hide a body.
Right. You can, if you're like, you know the area, then you know where all the.
Okay, this is the part where he said maybe they're afraid to accuse, and I'm so curious who he was talking about. And I could be just kind of, I don't know. It's not all about me, right? So maybe he wasn't even talking about us, but it felt like it in a way. I can see Kyle Ryan. Yep. If you Google search, Ryan, it says that it says that it's right there. Was no GPR used. Oh yeah. I mean, that technology is crazy expensive and super difficult to read. It takes an expert to read ground penetrating radar readouts. They're complicated and you have to be an expert. You have to have studied it. You're not just going to get that device and start using it. It takes an expert. Of course. Very welcome to as part of the tribe. If you're new, hope you've subscribed already. Thank you and welcome to the tribe. It's good to have you here. All right, this is the weird comment he made. I don't know who he was talking about, but let's see.
We've got videos forthcoming that's going to be alarming to some of you. It's going to be very informative. Some of you, we've used some of your videos. Some of these people, it's things that they've videotaped years ago, whether they realized what they had, whether they just didn't want to take on somebody with their own YouTube channel and afraid that they would be insulted. Or guys, is it a coincidence that somebody points their finger at everybody in the country? Okay,
then he starts going implying. What was he talking about? Like, do you guys have an opinion? Like, what YouTuber covered the land and didn't accuse Jody Sue or Andy? It feels like us, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Just felt weird. I'm curious who in the world he was talking about. 2058. Again, I said the reason we didn't before earlier in the videos, earlier in this live. So if you want to know why we've never accused them, that's why. 2058. This next part is where they talk about the areas they think should be gone over with cadaver dogs. I think I agree with this.
Yes.
Well, we're just saying that this.
Oh, by the way, Chris with Echoes in the Mountains will probably be joining us in a little bit. He was going to join us, but he had some stuff going on at work, so he may be late. Let me check my text just in case he's oh shoot. Oh, he may not make it. Yeah, he's got work issues. Not a problem. Okay.
These areas right here needs to be gone over again, fine tooth comb with cadaver dogs.
Yeah.
To see if there's anything possibly there.
Yeah.
And there's, and if each person or suspect owns more than one property, then those properties need to be searched as well.
Good point.
I agree.
If nothing's found in this area, Sheila was looking the other day and found where they may be other properties owned by the same people.
Mm-hmm.
And like she said earlier, there was people that actually made it out there. You're going to see.
Okay, then he goes into they left and talking about Jody again. I'm surprised he said that though, because as law enforcement, he should know that to revisit a property on Ben Hill, there needs to be a warrant at this point. So yeah, it's expensive for sure. GPR is very expensive, and you need the contractor to go along with it. So you're talking a lot of money. He should know that they need a warrant. You can't just go on. You can't go on 125 Ben Hill. The only reason we were able to is because Andy gave us permission. The only way you're going to get on 110 is if Don and Candace give you permission. If you want to go on Redmond's, if you want to go on anyone, Thompson's, they give you permission, or law enforcement's going to have to get a warrant. Do I think law enforcement's going to get a warrant? No, because they need evidence to get a warrant, and there's no evidence pointing, as far as I know, otherwise they would have gotten a warrant. I don't think there's any evidence pointing to those properties. So as law enforcement, I think he should have known that. I think what he's probably implying is if law enforcement can't, then maybe we can. But we're going to, if YouTubers do it, we're going to need permission from landowners. And the way to go about doing that is what we talked about earlier in this live, is getting the trust and respect of the people who own these properties down here, and them believing that you're going to do it in a respectful, in a respectful way, and they'll let you. Maybe they'll let you do it if you don't film it. And we've had to do that. We've had to do that in a lot of cases. And if you want proof of that, just talk to 6 Up Media, because she was thinking for a long time that we were only about the videos. We were only about the clicks and views. And then when she came down one weekend or week, she was talking to Nana for Life, and Nana called us up and said, hey, I've got a place that you can drone if you want to, but the landowners do not want video on YouTube. And I said, okay, we'll do it. We call it a dark search. She even had us sign a piece of paper saying we will not put it on YouTube. Sometimes you have to do that. If you want locals, some locals just don't want you to film. And if you really are interested in searching and you want to search, then sometimes you got to be like, all right, I'm going to leave the cameras home and we're going to do what we can with what we have. Do I think there's something with Van Hill? We can get to that maybe in another live. There's a lot there to unpack, and I don't think we have time tonight to answer that question. It's a good question. Do you think, in your opinion, Frank was totally truthful? I think Frank was truthful. I don't think Frank had as much information as I was hoping he would have. I guess that's the best way to put it. He was trying to be truthful, but I think even Frank doesn't know a whole lot about what's going on or what went on. I think that's all I'm going to say. We can cover it in another live, but I do think Frank is truthful, and he tried to be as honest and transparent as he could, but I don't think he has a lot, all the information. Okay. We're almost done this video. I've got a couple more where they said 2428 is where they maybe it's repeating. I apologize if this is repeating the same thing, but it's interesting because I'm kind of covering their reasoning for bringing in cadaver dogs or a cadaver dog. And again, I agree with them. So,
okay.
Yeah. Just go back over it again. There might have been something that was missed.
I don't think it was ever gone over. I don't think it was ever gone over.
Well, like I said, I think they had tunnel vision on Mr. Wells' property.
I think the property owners were told to search their own property. Once Jody Sue said, we heard a scream, she became a witness rather than a possible suspect. Oh, why would she be telling us she heard a scream?
Okay, no, we're not going to go there. We are not going to go there. They can if they want to. It's okay. 20. And this one, this is the last thing I want to share with you guys because I laughed when I read. So when I watched this was awesome. This was one of the best parts of this live to me because I'm like, oh, dude, I've heard that so many times from all of the people who are like, we were here from day one. You know what I mean? They don't want newcomers. And I know a lot of you watching this are those people, not those people. You were here from day one. You've been on this. You knew more about this for a long time from when we first started. And a lot of you have helped us catch up. And we appreciate that. So we're not disparaging people who've been here since day one. There's a certain type of people who've been following this case from day one who instantly attack any new people. You all watching this, you all part of this tribe, you're not like that. And we appreciate that about you so much. You're more of the type that you want to help people catch up with the case. You like new eyes. You want more people on the case, and you're willing to collaborate and you're willing to help. And even some YouTubers who've been on Summer's case since day one and can't appreciate that more, you know. Thank you, Real Rock and Robin. We got five memberships. Let me see on our actual video. Oh shoot, hold on. No, I can't see it on StreamYard, you guys, who got the memberships, but I want to see who got the memberships. You're wonderful, Real Rock and Robin. Thank you so much. Sorry, I don't want to miss this, you guys. I want to see who got it because we always appreciate new members and anyone who got new membership. We want to welcome you. Oh, Rain Dancer, I'm so glad she got a membership. Rain Dancer, you are now a member. I'll share what that means too with everyone. Hey, Jen, you just got a membership from Robin. That's awesome. Sassy Sandy T, you got a membership. A little bit 5532 and Elsvaniella 2602. For those of you who just got a membership, just so you know, we would like to do more for members, and we always try to do we want to do extra like behind the scenes and just chatting with Jen and I, and we are so overwhelmed lately. It's been hard, but what we always do, and we're consistent about it, is when there's a new video, like the very last video I put out, members got to see it at least minimum of like 2 days before it actually goes live for everyone else. We like everyone to be able to, we don't like secret stuff that only members get, but we love to give benefits to members. So members get to see our videos early. Most of our videos go live for members up to a week ahead of time sometimes. So you'll get to watch our videos beforehand, and then eventually everyone else gets to see the video too. So yeah, members first is the biggest benefit of being a member. So thank you, Rock and Robin. Appreciate that. You're wonderful. Okay, this part is so funny because like I was saying, that attitude, we've heard that so many times, and their response to it was so brilliant. It was really funny. Here we go.
Complaining, and he says, there's no question that's been asked that hasn't been answered. It's been 5 friggin' years. It's all been answered. All the questions have been answered. There's nothing else out there. It's really, because Sheila and I was watching a little bit of it. Sheila had a question.
This is perfect. And we've heard that a lot. Like everything has been covered. Every question has been asked. Every theory has been covered. Everything. There are no more questions. There are no more questions you could possibly ask. And then Sheila's pretty clever.
Where's Summer Wells?
Where's Summer? This fella says, this YouTuber, of course, he just got a few subscribers. And when you've only got a few subscribers or get a few views, okay. Yeah, I don't want to insult nobody, but only thing you could figure that video would be for is trying to get subscribers and views and clickbait. That's all.
Now that is, I'm not going to blame Fred for doing that. He wanted to dig back, and I get that. I mean, I've wanted to do that plenty of times, but you can't say I'm not going to insult and then go ahead and, and go ahead and do it. But I understand. I get it. I've been there. You just want to fight back, man. You want to swing back. You want to take a punch too. It's hard to stay silent and not do that. So I get it.
All it is. And there's a better way to get it. There's a better way to get subscribers and viewers, and go out, get boots on the ground. Go there and start searching those heels, guys. Go there and be part of the solution instead of condemning, because we don't know. He says every question has been answered. We don't know where Summer Wells is at.
Yes.
That question has never been answered. Where's Summer Wells?
Yep, that's true. That is one question that has not been answered. And you're right, T-Talk. Yeah, the research is important. Otherwise, you're randomly going places, right? And, you know, at the beginning, we were like, there's no information. So we're just going to randomly search. And at the beginning, that's all it was. But research, you're right. Research first is key, because that can point you in at least areas that are more probable, more likely. You may not have, it may be anecdotal, and maybe somebody saw something, a neighbor saw something. It's hard because there's not a lot out there unless you start talking to people and kind of learning more things about what was going on and who was doing what. It's hard to pick places to search, and the best way to pick is to start talking to people. Yes, there are. Yes, there are. Around a lot of the people that are close by. Maybe neighbors, maybe people in the area, not just people on Ben Hill. Like, there's a lot of questions that people don't have answers on as far as what was happening on that day and who's doing what and where they were and all that. So who wants to see now? Maybe they've never seen the video. Maybe they don't even realize that, we did this. But for those of you who haven't seen it, or even for those of you who have, we are going back to 125. And I need to be careful with this ground search of 125, because like I said, it was misused. It was used to attack the Bernards. And it ended up, like I said, I kind of wish we hadn't filmed it. I wish we had just done the search, and then maybe we would have had access to the Fields Roads properties too. At the end of Fields Road, where it goes up the mountain chimney top, we may have had access, but this blew it, and that was a learning. So I do have to show some of the mess, but I'm going to avoid a lot of the mess that people were making fun of. So I want to highlight the sections on Ben Hill on 125 that I believe a cadaver dog now at this point would be extremely, extremely helpful. And this is really important because very few people got to see 125, what the property looked like, what was on the property, what objects were there, was there disturbed earth, were there things that could have been covering other things, and we're going to get to that now. I rewatched this earlier today, and I've clipped the sections that I believe I wouldn't kill, but I would love to go back, if not law enforcement going back, if they won't do it, these are the things that I would take Moon to immediately. And I'm going to reiterate, this does not mean that I think Jody Sue Brown, Andy Bernard, Damien, or anybody in that family, I'm not saying that they are the people who put something on that property. but I'm saying these are the locations that someone could have put something there, whether it was them, whether it was someone without their knowledge putting something on their property. And there's clues here that hint that there are people who have been going to 125 Ben Hill Road without them knowing, without the Bernards, without Jody Sue knowing. They're not there anymore. They haven't been there for a certain period of time after Summer disappeared. Andy left first, and eventually Jody Sue and her kids left the property. It's been abandoned, you guys. It's been a empty property, open to whoever wants to sneak up on there. Why would you not search a property like that? When we're talking about something could have been moved, most likely things were moved in this case several times, I believe. Why not an abandoned property where there's no one to see you, no one to watch you? Are there cameras up there? I think Andy said there might have been at some point. But again, there were people creeping up on there even when they lived there. Jody Sue has told stories. Well, Andy has told stories about people creeping up on that property at night. Andy chased off people, creepers, peeking in the windows. Both of them have told those stories. People have been going on that property when they were there. Why would they not be creeping up on there when they're not there? Who knows? Jody Sue doesn't know if people have been going up on there. Andy doesn't know. So let's watch this. I'm gonna cover the places I would love to go back to and check out. Whether we ever will, I don't know. I doubt it, honestly, at this point. But these are the spots I would love to take Moon on now, just to clear it. A little bit of the intro. This is a very short intro for those of you who haven't seen it. Just want you to see kind of what this search was all about before we headed out there. And then we're going to start covering that property. And I'm going to show you guys the most important spots. Everyone, today we are going back to Ben Hill Road. We are not going to 110. We're actually going to 125 Ben Hill Road. Andy Bernard has agreed to let us walk across this property, look around. Sorry, I got to answer. I know people get annoyed when comments interrupt, but this is a live. This isn't one of my research videos. This is a live, and people here have questions. So if you're watching this at home after the fact, I apologize, but I've got to answer questions. Otherwise, we're ignoring everyone, right? So did you get to search any other neighbor's property? We have searched, if you go, the property at the end of the road, not Redmond's, but next to Redmond's is Fred's furthest property closest to Redmond's. If you go over the hill, Light Hollow Road, we've interviewed Glenda. If you haven't seen Glenda Head's interview, we interviewed Stephen Clark. They live there. Brandon as well. We interviewed them. That area has been searched. That was a non-recorded, off-the-record search. We droned it. Chris did some droning, but it was not in the fall, so we may have to do a little more there, but they are happy to let us. Glenda Head and Stephen Clark are 100% on board with searching anywhere we can go out there with permission. Unfortunately, they don't have permission for further in the woods, but all that area that they're near, they said we could go up there anytime we want to, and we appreciate that. They're very willing. There is another property we may have permission, thanks to Chris, that I'm not going to mention because I don't want to ruin it. We have people who are trying to stop us sometimes from searching, so I'm not going to name, but there is another one in the area that he said yes, and so we will be doing that one. Nana for Life has helped us with some folks on the other roads. If you go on Beach Creek toward Van Hill, the roads closest to Ben Hill, there's some properties out there that she was working on getting us access to. So yes, there's some of them that we have, and some of them we're still going to once we can arrange it. And especially in the fall, as you know, Chris and I are planning a lot of fall work when the leaves have dropped. A lot of droning. Chris is going to be amazing resource this fall. Around, look under things, take a walk if we want to, and so that's what we're planning on doing today. We really appreciate Andy giving us access to that property, and we've got Rockin' Robin and her husband. You all know her as Rockin' Robin. Rockin' Robin is in chat, as is Glenn. You'll see them on video here. So if you haven't seen the real Rockin' Robin in person or Glenn, you will see glimpses of them in this video. And they are in chat if you want to kind of give them a shout out during this video. You're going to see them as well. We've got her and her husband coming along as well. So we've got the 4 of us and Andy. Andy said we can take a look anywhere we want, and that's what we're planning on doing. So we're going to head out there now and see what we see. All right. And then when we get up there, we have a little chat that's really interesting about people that have been coming up on the property. You will see some of the mess. I've got to share it because there's a spot near there that is the first I'd love to get back to on this property. Wine barrels, wine type wooden barrels around here. Matter of fact, all this crap over here, apparently people have been doing to this Sandy's property for a while. Do you know who, other than, well, you said Fred was up here doing shit, but is it just neighborhood people typically?
I have no clue. I've not been really down here. I don't come down here.
So it was clean. There was all this crap wasn't here.
No, it wasn't clean. Like, you know, the shit you see sticking there,
yeah,
and just car parts, car tires, just the glass stuff under there. I mean, most of it was here, but like I didn't leave the wagon full of trash over there.
So people dump trash on the
somebody
property.
Broke the.
So see, what people ignored too was he just mentioned a lot of the trash had been dumped on their property while they weren't there. People bashed the windows in. They've dumped things on this property. So it wasn't in quite this condition. It was messy, but it wasn't quite as bad. So people are going up on there. He just admitted it here. People are going up on that property.
Door on the G. This one I was scrapping out. It's bad. I'm gonna have to get a bulldozer and just rake the shit up from there.
He said, "I'm gonna have to take a bulldozer and just rake it all out, all the crap that's on there." So yeah, it was unfortunate, but this is the first spot. I felt so frustrated, and there were so many searches early on that I felt frustrated because we wanted to go deeper. We wanted to be able to explore more, and you can't when you don't have the ability to sense what's under the ground. You're at a loss. What are you going to do? Start digging every single piece of soft earth? Do you guys realize how many pieces of soft earth were on this property? You take a dog. I'm going to show you this spot right here. All it would have required, if I had Moon at the time, would be going around this car with Moon. One swipe, maybe two, to see how she reacted, to watch her tail, to see if she sat. If she sat, I would probably have a heart attack. But that's all it would require. 2 walks around this car. And you could tell by her behavior if there's something that needs investigating. And this is what it looked like. This was the first frustrating point in this search.
I don't know why I'm doing that. It's pretty soft ground here. I don't know. Something I stepped on and I could hear it.
Yeah, I don't.
That's funny. All kinds of cool stuff in there. You think you won't mind if I take some?
That's Jen, the yard sale shopper. She saw a bunch of stuff in the shed and she was like, "Do you think they'll mind if I could take some of this stuff?" Oh, I love you, Jen. You're cute. It's a piece of concrete on top of it, Jen.
What?
It's a piece of concrete on top of it.
See what's going to happen. There's so much to look at.
There's no way to know, though. Do you know what it makes me think of, Jen?
What?
That movie where they put a car on top of where they put someone under. Do you remember that? What was that movie? Do you guys remember that movie? There was actually a movie where that took place. They had an old car on top of a vault. It was creepy. And that's what I was thinking here. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying that was the first thought I had. It was so weird. We thought it was soft earth. You'll see in a little bit. I used my entrenchment tool for what it's meant to be used for, and I did check it the best I could. Not digging. That's not what it's for. It's checking whether it's soft earth. I don't know. Again, I'd love to take Moon here. It goes all the way under there.
Well, there's no tire there anymore. Oh, yeah.
It's right sitting right on top, and there's plastic over there. Well, there's plastic in the car, too. So, yeah. Hey, Birdie. That's it. Thank you. Does it go all the way over there? That is soft ground.
It doesn't come all the way over here.
Okay, I got to ask Andy when this car was put here. Yeah, good find, Jen. Jen gets credit for that one. And later I'll show you, we actually tried to check it out. And I did ask Andy about it. I don't know if I showed it, but Andy was like, yeah, it's been there for years. So apparently it had been there for years. And I even say it, you guys. So in just a little bit, I forgot that I said this. And when I saw this, I'm like, oh man, talk about foreshadowing. If you guys don't know what foreshadowing is in literature, it's when something is said that foreshadows what's going to be coming in the future. And I had no idea. It's so creepy to watch this part, and that I said this. We had no idea we'd ever have a dog on this. When we were doing the search, I don't even know if we were thinking about it at the time. I think we were. But it's so weird. Just watch. Well, that's why I got you here, because I'm not going to be... Man, there are times like this I wish we had a dog. Like a scent dog. You know? Times like this, I wish we had a dog. A scent dog. Man, if you ever moments in time when if you go back to things that you were thinking and saying, and then fast forward into the future and you're just in a different place, and you're like, it's interesting how life carries you in a direction that you never even could have imagined. Jen, why are you always embarrassed? You're cute. You're a good searcher. You are a good searcher. You found that car spot, so you know. Okay, this is the second spot I would love to take Moon. And again, you can see Andy's there with us. He's assisting, he's helping. Any spot that I found, and I was like, I want to check this out. He was right there helping move stuff and like lift stuff off. We did, and I'll show you the ridge. I'll show you the actual ridge. I'll show you where Fred was pointing and circling. I'm going to show you that from the ground, what that ridge looks like from the ground. Yeah, so this one right here, this is a spot. If I had a dog, yes, come full circle. This is a spot I would have focused a cadaver dog on. Absolutely. It looked to me like intentionally trying to cover something up. Somebody trying to put something over this spot of ground. So the best we could do is, lift it off and take a look. Yeah, it's all trash. Yeah. There you go. Wow. So it was a pile of trash, and let's imagine a scenario where somebody puts a pile of trash on top of something they were trying to hide. If you're a ground searcher, the best you can do is get a bunch of shovels and spend 3 or 4 hours digging and probably finding nothing. So if you spent 3 or 4 hours of hard labor and there's nothing there. With a cadaver dog, the scent is coming up out of this earth, and it only will take less than 30 seconds for a dog to come near a pile like this and tell you if there's something that needs to be investigated. If you need to, what Butch calls it is, if you need to detail the area, a dog will tell you if you have to spend that time and that labor instead of randomly doing it to every pile and every piece of dirt. You know what I mean? So we were overwhelmed because this it was the second spot, and there's nothing you can do unless you want to be out there for weeks. Jimmy Hoffa. Yeah. So yeah, this was the second spot. I'm going to show you guys one more spot I would like to go to was what Robin and Jen found was this strange. Oh, this is kind of, again, this is a mess. It was just a place where they were putting a lot of their, I'm going to call them recyclables. It was a huge pile of plastic. I think meant to be thrown away eventually. It was like a storage area for plastic in particular, but it just was suspicious. Even Robin was pointing to it like, oh my God, look at this pile. I mean, there could be something under here.
Well, at least they recycled. I mean, it's all plastic.
No, it looks like a bag of clothes.
I would be surprised if there were people camping out. It's a sinkhole? Oh, yeah.
I know it takes like 10 feet.
Oh, yeah, to go through this?
See, Jen was realizing it. She's like, yeah, you know, there's something that needs to be investigated. And it would take forever. And potentially there's nothing there. Like you would have to expend so much energy properly investigating land like this properly without a dog. That's why Fred is right. Fred's like, you can't do this on foot. You can't do this just with a ground search. You have to have a cadaver dog. There's no other option. There's another spot right there. I would love to. It's big enough to do a mini grid with Moon. I would that one I wouldn't just circle. I would probably walk over it. We've got little booties to protect her feet. It's all plastic, but you never know if there's glass. So we would put those booties on and walk her back and forth and see if she indicated. Law enforcement, again, if they would do this area, it would be cleared, you know, and they've got amazing dogs. I know one particular handler. I'm not showing the poop bucket, Jen. For those of you who don't know, Jen was scraping mud and dirt out of a flower pot, and everyone assumed there were these famous poop buckets that supposedly poop had been dumped into. Andy pointed those out. The actual buckets were behind the house. But of course, idiot YouTubers were making fun of Jen for playing in mud. She was trying to see if there's anything in the flower pot. Yeah, I know. That's how Jen is. She will investigate anything. She probably wouldn't even care if it was a poop bucket. She would still investigate. So yeah, the plastic pile, target number 3, in my opinion. And then you guys, let's take a look at the ridge. I'll show you what that ridge looks like from the ground. And what's beautiful is this is in the fall. So you can see the land. You can see everything we're looking at through the trees. This is the perfect time of year for searching. All the leaves are gone. And this is the ridge that Fred is talking about searching. 15, 20, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, I know. And it was right there. Oh, it's interesting.
Right there down the hill is Beach Creek. And you can see how narrow this ridge is. You look to the left, you can see Beach Creek. And you can see it's fenced, so you can't just go down the hill. You have to go from the other side or crawl over the fence or whatever. And I think it might be electrified because there's insulators on there, but I don't know if it still is because it's so freaking old. But yeah, there's fencing you got to deal with too.
That's electric too.
Yeah.
By the way, you guys, they're back in the day. I can't remember. I think it was Andy who told me this. Let me go back a little bit. Right down this hill, there's a flat piece of land it was an old railroad bed that went through this area long time ago. I guess it was like an Eastman transport line, and it went through the Beach Creek area. And all the rails are gone now. All the iron's gone, but there's a flat bed of land. Oh, thank you, Jenna. The name of the movie. We're going to watch that. Jenna and I are going to watch that again. It was such a good movie. But yeah. Oh, yeah, we got ticks. Absolutely. We got ticks. Yep. So yeah, a little piece of history. There's an old railroad bed out there along Beach Creek. Just a flat piece of land that where a railroad used to be.
That's electric too.
Yeah.
I don't know, Patty. I don't know what they use.
I will show you all where we are on the map. To the right of where.
So what Fred had circled was all of this, and then all of this on the other side. We didn't touch that. But yeah, we did this ridge up until we hit the property line, and I think the rest is Thompson's, I think. That's what Andy said. He might say it later. But we did all of this on foot, and only on foot. No cadaver dog, unfortunately. Yeah, oh yeah, I got one or two. You don't get as many ticks here as you do in the Northeast, thankfully, but we got, I think we did get some on this search. So many leaves.
Jen had pointed and said there's something here, right here. So there's an empty lot, and we're kind of walking along this ridge in that direction. There's a trail up here, and there's a barbed wire fence. It looks like it's electrified, but the insulation posts are kind of broken up. I don't know if it's still live. Probably not.
Hey, Bridget, good to see you. Hey, Tuesday Vibe. And you could see, I mean, the trail kept going pretty far. We walked a lot of the ridge. And I think I have a segment here where we get to the end and we start kind of talking. Yes, absolutely.
Steep ravine. Oh, busted.
That's how steep the Beach Creek side of this ridge is. So a lot of the ridges along here are, if you guys haven't seen this on the ground, here you go. This is how steep it is out here. I mean, it's like, I don't know, 80-degree decline down that hill. Yeah, there's water. There's a creek down at the bottom of this, a little creek. And then I think on the other side, there might have been as well, maybe more like a ditch, I guess, but there's definitely water around there. Not deep water.
Inner tube. We're almost there.
That's the other side. Now, if you look off to the right, we're hitting the end right here. Off to the right is how thick this land is. And you're getting into evergreen trees with branches way down to the bottom. So trying to walk through that, I can't even imagine. But some searchers did, from what I hear. Talking to EquiSearch, they went through some crap like that. But it's steep. Both sides are very steep. You can see how narrow this ridge is just from this view.
Oh yeah. As far as I can get, I don't want to cross over the property line. And down there.
On there.
Oh, okay.
It goes, okay, when you start at my driveway, the one that
Thank you, baby kisses. Appreciate that so much. That helps. Everything helps, you guys. People keep on saying you're doing this for the money, and we don't get money from this. This money goes into gas, into equipment, into travel. We don't make profit. We don't yet. Maybe someday we will, and we'll deal with that when it comes. But right now, anybody who says we're making profit, I'm sorry. Every donation like this goes directly into our searches. So thank you, baby kisses. We appreciate that more than you can imagine.
it came up.
Yeah.
You see that other road that goes up through there? Mm-hmm. That's the divide
Okay.
between his.
Gotcha.
He was in that driveway cutting up our side. He should be on that side.
So he was that way.
I'll show you where he was at when we go back.
He was talking about Dobbs here. He was talking about where Dobbs was cutting trees on the land. And then the rest of the ridge, I think I do cover a little more of the ridge right here. You can see Glenn and Robin taking the lead.
Where Jen basically said, you see right here, we were right there on the road, just past that white building. And there's a holler that cuts back. She pointed, well, I don't know if she meant that side or this side, but it's this area right here.
Yeah. I see that piece down there is for sale now.
It's this whole property without anything on it?
Yeah, I think so. There's a sign down there.
So Andy was telling me at the time of this search, which I can't remember what year this was, there was a property down the hill that was for sale. We probably should have checked it out, but it was just a flat piece of land. Yeah, he was very helpful. He let us tour the property. Anything we wanted to investigate, he was like, have at it, do whatever you want. He had no problem with it. And I hope that helps inform Fred and Sheila as well when they're considering who might have put something on this land.
Kelly Williams.
That would be interesting to be able to get to the base of this hill.
You don't want to go from up here down there.
No. Well, sometime. Because then I could actually try to explore this hillside right here. Man, if I lived up here, I'd take a walk out here every day. This is beautiful.
When I was growing up, I used to run it all the time.
Get a hill on that side.
Just keeps going.
Mountain.
All these trees weren't like this.
It was clear?
It was clear.
Oh,
You
wow.
could see to the valley. And then when you go on up through here.
So anyway, that was the ridge. It keeps going for a little bit. Then we hit a pole, and it was basically the end of Andy's property, and it went into Thompson's. I want to show you target number 3. 2 more places I would take Moon instantly if we could get back on the land. One of them was a pile of bricks, and it looked to me like I thought it was an old well, but it might have just been a pile of bricks. I was trying to find the well. I didn't know there was a well house on this property. So I went down the hill where I saw this pile. I'm going to show you guys. 29, 30. It drew my attention because when you see a pile of bricks, you think, what are people going to put on top of something they're trying to hide? It's going to be a pile of something heavy, right? It's hard to move. And so this was target number 3.
Yeah.
And I didn't ask Andy why this was placed here. I don't know this particular area, Vicky, but yes, I've heard there's caves. I don't know in this area if there's mines. Could do some research on that actually. There are to do that kind of research for really old places, mines like that, you'd have to go to the archives, probably in person in town, historical society. Just haven't had a chance to do that kind of research yet. But yeah, this to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is an old well, but it turned out to be just a pile of these bricks. But again, if it is hiding something, one swipe around with Moon and you'd be done. You'd clear it, or any cadaver dog, not just Moon. It doesn't have to be Moon. If law enforcement came, I'm assuming they would also focus in on piles of crap like this, heavy objects. And as I was investigating that, you could see Glenn over there kind of looking up the hill because he was kind of pointing me up the hill. He's like, that's where the well is. And so the actual well was a well house up the hill. And I think I went there next.
Does he have one?
People have sent me maps of wells. And the problem is with wells, you guys, most of you probably know this, is drilled wells, and you'll see the pipe. They're basically 4 to 6 inch pipes, and that's it. And you'll see the size of the one in this well house. And to discard anything down it would involve a whole lot of very disgusting work, if you know what I'm saying. So like drilled wells, I don't think, and most of the wells around here that you find on the maps, which I've done that research, they're drilled. They're 6 inches standard. I'll show you Kiki real quick. You'll see the wellhead.
Oh, they pump their water up?
He said that was the old one. The well's up there now.
Let's check that out. People will kill me if I don't check out the well.
Open wells down here.
No.
I mean, open the door.
I gotta tell you, Andy.
And that was at this moment, I'm like, the dude is just like, hey, by the way, here's the well. Check it out. Have at it. You know what I mean? He doesn't care.
90% of this is someone's going to let you walk around their property and look around. There's nothing on the property. You know what I mean? Unless you don't know about it.
It's one of those type of situations. You know, I said the door was screwed shut on the house.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put you in a window. That way you can.
Oh, yeah.
You can go down in there. Be careful.
I just, like I said, unless somebody puts something on here without you knowing.
Right.
Yeah, there's a pipe.
So if you look down, Kiki, you were asking the size of the, down where that wooden block is, right here to the left of it is the well pipe. And you can see the opening right here. It's about 6 inches, roughly 6 inches. And to get something in there, you got to move aside the pipe that goes above it, and you got to shove things that are very small, 6 inches wide. But that's the well pipe right there. Anybody, now that I'm looking at it, I guess I could have dropped the camera down in there into the water. I have a waterproof camera. Probably could have done that, but I was looking at it and I'm like, the odds of someone putting something in a pipe that size, what are the odds? Maybe, I don't know. I just didn't think so.
It goes down, tanks on cinder blocks. You got a, Andy.
So that was the well house. Target number, what am I up to? 4? I got one more place I would love to take Moon, and that was what Robin and Jen found. Yeah, it does. I mean, that's what you'd have to. All right, I'm not going to show the house. There's nothing in there. This was what Robin and Jen found. 3520. And you guys can go back and watch this whole video. Just search our channel for 125. You can watch this whole video if you want to. If you haven't seen it yet. There was no outhouse. That was why they had the whole poop bucket thing that everyone makes fun of Jody Sue for. As far as I know. Actually, no, I take that back. There was an outhouse. Yes. And I think I did film it. And we looked down in it and it was not deep. And it was pretty much, there's nothing in there, obviously, because it hadn't been used in a long time except for dirt. So yeah, good point. I did not. I'll talk about that in a little bit as far as how a cadaver dog can be used or not used. But this is what Robin and Jen found.
You will put enough pressure that you
We're going to have to actually bring this side up.
You're right.
Yeah. That's the inside. That's the bottom of it right there.
So that was a big tarp, basically, is what that was. And anytime, yeah, they aren't. They're like snakes. We don't care. Robin and Jen were just lifting it up. Again, that if you have a tarp covering the ground, it makes you wonder. And yes, that would be another spot I would absolutely, in case something was attempted to be hidden, I would absolutely take Moon on that. Sorry, I'm texting Chris. He feels bad. I'm not upset, Chris. You're awesome. Can't make every live. And then there's a hillside, mountainside. So this part here, I walked it and I saw a lot of places that looked discolored, pieces of ground that I would consider looking at closer, because discoloration is what you're looking for. Anything buried is going to change the pH of the soil, the growth patterns, and even in fall, you can tell the difference. I think according to, we talked with Glenn in one of our lives, Glenn from the drone expert from EquiSearch. Yes, it was. That's what you look for in the fall, especially. You'll see things stay greener, or the spring, it grows earlier. It's really interesting, the science behind that. And so I was walking all this. I turned down the volume. I was walking this land right here. There's so much land along the side of the hill.
Piece of metal.
And so this whole side of the hill, I would, if I had moon on this land, I would start at the ridge and I would go all the way along the ridge at the top and then go down a little and basically walk her in a zigzag pattern within like the radius that I know within 20 feet she can pick up on something, and just keep going up and down this land. It's a lot of walking, but with a dog, you can have a width of like 20 feet, so you can get through it really fast. But this was the land, and on foot, it's like, what can you do? You know? And then we get to the car again.
This is the typical way that people work underneath cars. Yeah. Put something down. So it does make sense. Can you hold that? Don't cut yourselves. Oh gosh, it's so packed down.
Just snakes for me Tuesday vibe.
Yeah, it's soft up here, but see how packed it is.
I don't like.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You could ask him how long.
I told him. He told me it was like been there for years.
Okay, so
It's packed. I need everyone to hear it.
So I was fairly confident that it was packed down, but again, you never know. It could be packed down from years of water. It's got a car on top. There was something on top of it. But again, so fast with a cadaver dog, you can just clear ground like that. Then you don't have to worry about it. And I'm going to share with you Andy's last words. I do want to get back to the real quick before I get to the end of what we talked about here at the end. The outhouse, that's trickier because I don't know. I'm not super confident. A cadaver dog with an outhouse, depending on how old and how disintegrated the human stuff was. What I learned at the seminar was that, believe it or not, human excrement is a human remain, believe it or not. Like, there are tissue. It's so gross to talk about. There are tissue that goes along with it when you go. And so dogs can detect, will false indicate on excrement, human excrement, because there's similar smells to it. So I'm not super confident about a dog, a cadaver dog, if something was discarded in an outhouse. When we looked into this outhouse, I'm not showing it because I think it was a mess, and I don't want to show too much of the mess, but it was not deep and it looked like just flat earth. So I'll admit we didn't investigate the outhouse very thoroughly. It just didn't. And this was the end here, 3606. 3814. I think this is important because, again, it highlights that Andy let us do this and his reasoning for letting us do this. And again, we appreciate it. We couldn't have. You can't get on property unless this is what happens, unless the owner lets you do this.
Yeah, appreciate you, Andy, for doing this for us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, man.
Glad y'all had a good time.
thanks. Thank you.
He said it earlier. He was doing it for getting answers for summer. He wants it to be over. I thought he said that there. Let me see this again. Maybe I didn't. Yeah, here we go. Sorry, you guys.
Anyone in this neighborhood, and you're guilty by.
Yes, sir.
So.
Ed.
So.
Ed. I need everyone to hear it.
I mean,
he does just want it over.
I mean, I went 3 hours away, and people knew who I was.
Right.
I mean, I just want this done. I want Summer found, necessarily not even to go home, but found. That way she's safe.
Just to put closure.
Yeah. But we need this over with. Just done playing games.
It seems like they look into your history, anyone in this neighborhood, and you're guilty by association, right? If you've done anything bad.
Association or guilty because of something you've done in your past.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I still don't feel that.
What do you feel? You feel now like people are kind of coming around, seeing the real Andy?
Some, maybe. Some of them are. Some of them still dead set on their.
Yeah, I don't think you'll change 100% of the people's mind.
No, that's not what I'm looking for. I mean,
I agree with you, though. It's just something's got to happen to get closure. We have literally looked at probably every mattress. I looked under the car. We searched the whole property along the ridge line. I mean, I don't know what else we can look at here.
I ain't got nothing to hide.
All right, Jen, what do you think?
Yep. that was the final words by Andy. Again, to this day, this was years ago, you guys. If you want to see it, again, search our channel for 125 Ben Hill or just 125. It'll come up and you can see the whole video. I do want to go back. I don't think that Andy, after this search, he had to face all of the ridicule about the land, with the crap on the land. His family again got attacked, and it was not. We just should have filmed it, I guess, and we should have just searched, and we maybe could have gone back. And that's the hard part. I think what Fred and Sheila have to realize is when you're not law enforcement and you're YouTubers, the only people that are going to let you do that search are the landowners. You're not going to be going on that land without permission, and that's the only way. So again, I appreciate Andy. If he does let us back on there with Moon, it would be amazing. We may not be able to film it, but it would be nice to be able to just clear it. And it doesn't mean if something's found on the land that it's this family who owned it or lived there. People who live there that are the culprits, but it could provide answers and let the evidence prove who put the remains there. If he was willing to let us search, so the odds that Andy did anything here, in my opinion, this search alone prove that he's like, come on the property, do what you need to do. I don't believe he would have done that if he knew something was on the land. Who would? And to this day, Andy gets approached in town. People recognize him. People are still bugging him about this case. Not just Andy, everybody in this neighborhood. They're sick of it. They really are. If you're a YouTuber and you walk up and you say you're looking into someone else's case, they just don't want anything to do with it. They're tired of it. And that makes it really hard to continue searching and continue looking in these areas. They need to trust you. They need to trust that you're going to respect them and their property. And a lot of them do let us, not always on video, sometimes on video, but not always. We have some amazing things coming up. If you guys watched and thank you so much for the positive comments on the most recent research video that I did on runaway teenagers in the Tri-Cities and the weird pattern that we identified, that we saw, the higher volume of missing teens in the Tri-Cities area. I am ecstatic to tell you all that none other than Trevor Lee is going to be coming on this channel for an interview. We're going to be talking about, he's now a family advocate for missing children, missing teens. He knows more about the world of runaway teenagers and missing teens in East Tennessee than anyone else. And we're going to dive into it with him. We're going to get some insights from him on, are there institutions in the area? Not tomorrow. I think it's Saturday. Saturday night. I think it's 6 or 6:30. Check out our scheduled lives. It's scheduled. Trevor is amazing. He was on YouTube for a while. He was covering these cases for a while. The drama got to him, and he ended up leaving YouTube and getting into. He got his, I think, his license to be a family advocate in this area, and he's done some amazing work. He's done some amazing work in this area. He supports families, especially families that have missing teenagers, missing children. He doesn't want to talk about the big cases. He said, I'll come on YouTube. We can talk about what you researched. He's happy to talk about institutions around here, patterns he's seeing about why he thinks this is happening to teenagers in the Tri-Cities area. He doesn't want to talk about Summer Wells, Layla Santinello, Holland Snap, none of the big cases. He wants nothing to do with YouTube drama and the big cases. He wants to talk about the cases nobody hears about. All of the missing teens in the area nobody's talking about. That's what he wants to talk about. And I think it's amazing. He has a standard of ethics that are beyond most people I've ever met. And he's just an amazing guy, and he does so much good in this community. He does so much good in this community, and we appreciate the fact that he's willing to come and have a chat with us on Saturday night. So please set your calendars, set your notifications. We're going to be talking to Trevor. We've got some big things coming up with Chris from Echoes in the Mountains too. We've got searches planned. Chris has a lot planned, and I'm going to support him along the way. We're constantly collaborating on next areas. There's discussions with some big names and potentially law enforcement in some of the other cases in the Tri-Cities. And so that will be coming up. I can't say anything because there's talks going on, but it's exciting. There's a lot that's going to be happening. Not aliens. There's something happening, and hopefully Trevor will help us make sense of it. But teens are disappearing in higher numbers for sure in the Tri-Cities. It makes no sense. As far as Summer's case, we have planned searches. We're going to be doing a lot in the fall. Chris is helping this fall, and probably the biggest search effort we have ever embarked on. This whole area, not just Andy's, this land that we just covered tonight, but this whole land along Beach Creek, Ben Hill, up Chimney Top, down Chimney Top, all the way to Van Hill. We're going to be doing a lot of hard work. Chris is up for it, and he's going to be droning so much land, and we're going to be redoing things that we're thinking maybe somebody missed something. It's a shot in the dark. It's something to try. Maybe something got missed. And if we're lucky, God willing, I mean, everyone's prayers are extremely helpful in a case like this, but maybe something got missed. And if there's anybody out there who wants to come and participate in ground searches, get off YouTube, turn off the phone, you know what I mean? Get out there, get on the land, and start just looking around and praying that we come across something that a hunter would come across 10, 15 years from now. Maybe we can make it happen earlier. And all it takes is a little bit of work, or a lot of work, and a little bit of luck, and a lot of prayers. And you all have been so supportive, and we appreciate you. Jen and I appreciate you guys so much through the ups and downs, through everything we've been through. And just through the years, man, you guys have been the driving force behind everything we do. And we couldn't do this without all of your support and your encouragement and just positive vibes. Jen has a sticker on her car that says good vibes only. And that's what this community is. You guys are just amazing, and we love you all. And that's how I'm going to sign off, like we always do. So thank you guys for being here tonight. I hope this was interesting. Again, check out the video if you want to. Check out our recent research videos, especially the one about missing teens, because it's going to be what we talk about on Saturday night with Trevor Lee. So we're going to see you guys there on Saturday, I hope. Set your notifications. Be with us there on Saturday. It's going to be really interesting. I can't wait for it. I mean, Trevor's amazing. I can't wait. So yeah, anyway, that's it for tonight. Love you guys all. Love you so much. Thank you again for all of your support. I don't know if I got your email, Teen Twister. I'll check. Thank you guys for who do communicate with me. I still try to answer everything I can. So far, I've been able to, but you guys are awesome. So, all right, have a good night, you guys. Love you all. Appreciate you all, and we'll see you next time.